Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gaur Hari Bol Jai Gaur Premanande Hari
Hare Krishna. Thank you for such an ecstatic Kirtan, Mataji. Thank you. Wonderful. Hare Krishna and Pranam dear devotees. So welcome to our Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. So let me, Ronnie Prabhu, you do Mangala Charan. I'll quickly do the quiz. Just read.
Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamriyam Dadati Swapadamritam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshata. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kancha Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gauram Veera Devindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Padidanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Give me 1 second, bro.
Should I do that? Bhagavatam Mangala Charan.
1 second. Okay. आज ज्यादा क्वेश्चन थे प्रभु.
It was a chapter quiz for the full chapter quiz.
Oh.
It was after each chapter we have 10 questions. After every class.
Yes. Oh, our chapter is finished. Oh, yes, we started the Bhishma Devs. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. So how many of us are here? We are 17. How many have played?
Around 12.
12? Okay. Then number first, today is different?
Yes.
Kripa Sangha has come first. Who's Prabhupada Kripa Sangha?
Ramesha Gorang.
Ramesha Gorang Prabhu has dethroned our Ankur Prabhu.
And Atul Prabhu also.
हाँ?
फास्टेस्ट स्विंग फर्स्ट के चक्कर में गलत हो गया है।
Oh, okay, okay, Prabhuji. Then Ankur Prabhu also. Oh, wonderful. Nupma Mataji also,
Yes.
and Atul Prabhu. अच्छा, यहाँ एक हो गया. ये गिरिराज. I completed.
You completed? Okay, let me refresh.
कहीं लटका तो नहीं रह गया प्रभु जी? मैं जल्दी जल्दी में मैंने भी छोड़ दिया हो. No, it is showing I completed. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yes.
So,
The positions are changed.
हाँ?
You are second probably.
चलो, कहीं तो कोई नंबर आए प्रभु जी. So, okay, then Ankur Prabhu, then Nupa Mataji, then Atul Prabhu, then Anshi Mataji, Pinky Mataji, then Namrasita Devi Mataji. Oh, बहुत टाइम के बाद मैंने देखा, अच्छा माताजी वहां गए हुए हैं. विजय माताजी, then जीत माताजी. Okay, wonderful. So thank you. और ये कह रहे हैं प्रभु जी 12 लोगों ने अटेंड किया है. So which means we still have 6 devotees who have not given कृपा to all these devotees जिन्होंने इतनी मेहनत से क्विज बना रहे हैं. So please encourage. और ये हम इसीलिए नहीं बनाते हैं कि हम फर्स्ट सेकंड आए, बल्कि इसलिए कि हमारी एक तरह से रिवीजन हो जाती है. ये तो कृपा करके बड़े दे आर कंपैरेटिवली नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस. क्योंकि जो गलती भी होती है वो इसलिए होती है कि जल्दी जल्दी में गड़बड़ हो जाती है. लाइक दिस, है ना. सो कल यहाँ पर भक्ति प्रेम महाराज की क्लास थी वहाँ, और आप में से देखा होगा कि वहाँ पर मे बी 150 से ऊपर होते हैं नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन के अंदर. सो रोनी प्रभु yesterday was fourth among 150 people. He came fourth, like this. So, okay, so we will begin our session. Okay, so which verse we start, Prabhu? And please raise your hands. Thoda sa, those who want to read can raise their hands, and then we can begin. Okay, 194. Okay. Somagyanate mirandasya gyananjana shlakya chakshurunmita mera tasmai shri guruve namah. Granthashram Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay. So, Drishva nipatitam bhumau divaschutyam ivamaram par prane muhu pandava bhishmam sanughasa chakrina. Drishtva, thus seeing, nipatitam, lying down, bhumau, on the ground, diva, from the sky, chutam, fallen. Oh, achyutam means who doesn't fall. So chutam, fallen. Iva, like. Amaram, demigod. Pranemu, bowed down. Pandava, the sons of Pandu. Bhishma, unto Bhishma. Sanuga, with the younger brothers. Sa, also with Chakrina, the Lord who carries the chakra. Desk. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Seeing him, Bhishma, lying on the ground like a demigod fallen from the sky, the Pandava king Yudhishthir, along with his younger brothers and Lord Krishna, bowed down before him. तो हमने पढ़ा था कल की किस तरह से वो सारे जो सब लोग जो हैं युधिष्ठिर महाराज के साथ आए और वहाँ आके और वो अपना वियोग कर रहे हैं. तो उसका ये आगे कहा है कि उन्होंने पढ़े हुए देखा कि किस तरह से कितने तेजस्वी भीष्म लग रहे थे कि जैसे कोई देवता आकाश से गिर के नीचे गिर गया हो. Lord Krishna was also a younger cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthir, as well as the intimate friend of Arjun. But all the family members of Pandavas knew Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord, although conscious of his supreme position, always behaved in a humanly custom. And so he also bowed down before the dying Bhishma Dev as if he were one of the younger brothers of King Yudhishthir. तो ये हमें पता है, बार बार डिस्कस कर चुके हैं हम कि नरलीला चलती है और नीललीला में भगवान और जो भगवान के भक्त हैं जिनको पता है कि वो कौन है, सो दे ऑल फैसिलिटेट लॉर्ड्स पास टाइम्स. दे डोंट वांट टू ब्रेक द rasa, the mellow which is going on. Okay, next verse, Prabhu. Tatra Brahma Rishya Sarve Deva Rishyas Cha Sattama Raj Rishyas Tatrasan Drashtum Bharata Pangavam. Okay. Who has raised the hand? It is Radhika Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanva Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dhanvatama.
Synonyms: Tatra, there; Brahma Rishya, Rishi among the Brahmins; Sarve, all; Deva Rishi, Rishis among the demigods; Cha, and; Sattama, situated in the quality of goodness; Raja Rishya, Rishis among Raj Rishya, Rishis among the kings; Cha, and; Tatra, in that place; Asan, where present; Drashtum, just to see; Drashtum, just to see; Bharata, the descendants of King Bharat; Pungavam, the chief of. Translation: just to see the chief of the descendants of King Bharat, Bhishma, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis amongst the demigods, Brahmins, and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled there. Purport: the rishis are those who have attained perfection by spiritual achievements. Such spiritual achievements can be earned by all, whether one is a king or a mendicant. Bhishma Dev himself was also one of the Brahma rishis and the chief of the descendants of King Bharat. All rishis are situated in the quality of goodness. All of them assembled there on hearing the news of the great warrior's impending death.
तो ये बड़े बड़े सब लोग जो हैं, they have all come. Okay, we read the next one. Parvato Naradyo Dhamyo Bhagavan Badarayana Bridashvo Bhardavaja Shashyo Renuka Sutta Vashishta Indra Pramada Sa Trito Gritsamado Asita Kakshivan Gautamo Atrischa Kaushiko Atha Sudarshana. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Synonyms: Parvata, Parvat Muni; Narada, Narad Muni; Dhaumya, Dhaumya; Bhagwan, incarnation of God, Godhead; Badrana, Vyasdev; Bhadravaha, Bhadrasva; Bhadravaja, Sisa Shishya along with disciples; Renuka Sutta, Parshuram; Vashishta, Vashisht; Indra Padmanaha, Indrapada; Tritaha, Trita; Kristamada, Asita, Asit; Kakiswan; Gautamaha, Gautam; Atriha, Atri; Cha, and; Kaushika, Kaushik; Atha, as well as; Sudarshana, Sudarshan. Translation: all the sages like Parvat Muni, Narad, Dhaumya, Vyas, the incarnation of God, Brasdev, Brajavaja, and Parshuram, and disciples, Vashisht, Indra, Pramada, Trita, Drishtamada, Asit, Kaksvan, Gautam, Atri, Kaushika, and Sudarshan were present. Purport:
ये सब ऋषियों के नाम बता रहे हैं कि कौन कौन ये सारे पर्वत मुनि जो हैं वो नारद के बड़े प्रिय मित्र हैं. धौम्य, व्यास, भरद्वाज, Bharadwaj, Parshuram has come. See, just to see Bhishma leaving his body, and Parshuram came. So now Prabhupada will speak, give a detail about everyone. So read two of Mataji, you read the first two, then Shivani Mata, you can read the next four, and then Ankur Prabhu. Go ahead.
yes, ma'am. Parvat Muni is considered to be one of the oldest sages. He is amongst always a constant companion of Narad Muni. They are also spacemen competent to travel in the air without the help of any material vehicle. Parvat Muni is also a Dev Rishi, or a great sage among the demigods like Narad. He was present along with Narad at the sacrificial ceremony of Maharaj Janamjay, son of Maharaj Parikshit. In this sacrifice, all the snakes of the world were to be killed. Parvat Muni and Narad Muni are called Gandharvas, also because they can travel in the air singing the glories of the Lord. Since they can travel in the air, they observed Draupadi's swayamvar ceremony, selecting of her own husband from the air. Like Narad Muni, Parvat Muni also used to visit the royal assembly in the heaven of King Indra. As the Gandharv, sometimes he visited the royal assembly of Kuber, one of the important demigods. Both Narad and Parvat were once in trouble with the daughter of Maharaj Shanjya. Maharaj Shanjya got the benediction of a son by Parvat Muni. Narad Muni is inevitably associated with the narrations of the Purans. He is described in the Bhagavatam. In his previous life, he was the son of maidservant, but by good association with pure devotees, he became enlightened in devotional service. And in the next life, he became a perfect man comparable with himself only. In the Mahabharata, his name is mentioned in many places. He is the principal Devrishi, or the chief sage amongst the demigods. He is the son and disciple of Brahmaji, and from him the disciplic succession in line of Brahma has been spread. He initiated Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and many celebrated devotees of the Lord. He initiated even Vyasdev, the author of Vedic literatures, and from Vyasdev, Madhavacharya was initiated. And thus, the Madhav Sampradaya, in which the Gaudiya Sampradaya is also included, has spread all over the universe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to this Madhav Sampradaya, therefore, Brahmaji, Narad, Vyas, down to Madhav, Chaitanya, and the Goswamis all belong to the same line of disciplic succession. Naradji had instructed many kings from time immemorial. In the Bhagavatam, we can see that he instructed Prahlad Maharaj while he was in the womb of his mother, and he instructed Vasudev, father of Krishna, as well as Maharaj Yudhishthira. Hare Krishna.
A great sage who practiced severe penances at Utkoch Tirth and was appointed royal priest of the Pandav kings. He acted as the priest in many religious functions of Pandavas, Sanskar, and also each of the Pandavas was attended by him at the betrothal of Draupadi. He was present even during the exile of Pandavas and used to advise them in circumstances when they were perplexed. He instructed them how to live incognito for 1 year, and his instructions were strictly followed by Pandavas during that time. His name is mentioned also when the general funeral ceremony was performed after the battle of Kurukshetra. In Anushashna Parva of Mahabharat 127.15 to 16, he gave very elaborate religious instruction to Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was actually the right type of the priest of a householder, for he could guide the Pandavas on the right path of religion. A priest is meant for guiding the household progressively in the right path of ashram dharam, or the occupational duty of a particular caste. There is practically no difference between the family priest and the spiritual master. The sages, saint, and the brahmanas were equally meant for each functions. But Bhadrayan or Vyasadev, he is known as Krishna Dvipayan, Satyavati Sutta, Prashratamaja, Bhadrayan, Vyasadev, etc. He was the son of Mahamuni Prashar in the womb of Satyavati prior to her betrothal with Maharaj Santanu, the father of great general grandfather Bhishma Dev. He is powerful incarnation of Narayan, and he broadcasts the Vedic wisdom to the world. As such, Vyasadev is offered respect before one chants the Vedic literature, especially the Puranas. Sukhadev Goswami was his son, and Rishi like Vishampayan were his disciples for different branches of the Vedas. He is the author of great epic Mahabharata and the great transcendental literature Bhagavatam. The Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra, or Bhadrayan Sutra were compiled by him. Among his sages, he is the most respected author by dint of severe penances. When he wanted to record the great epic Mahabharata for the welfare of all the people in the age of Kali, he was feeling the necessity of a powerful writer who could take up his dictations. By the order of Brahmaji, Sri Ganeshji took up the charge of noting down the dictation on the condition that Vyasdev would not stop dictation for a moment. The Mahabharata was thus compiled by a joint endeavor of Vyas and Ganesh. By the order of his mother Satyavati, who was later married to Maharaj Shantanu, by the request of Bhishma Dev, the eldest son of Maharaj Shantanu by his first wife, the Ganga, he begot three brilliant sons, whose names are Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidur. The Mahabharata was compiled by Vyasadev after the battlefield of Kurukshetra and after the death of all the great heroes of Mahabharata. It was first spoken in the royal assembly of Maharaj Janmajay, the son of Maharaj Parikshit. Brihadasva. The ancient sage who used to meet Maharaj Yudhishthir now and then. First of all, he met Maharaj Yudhishthir at Kamyavan. The sage narrated the history of Maharaj Nala. There is another Brihadashva who is the son of Ikshvaku dynasty. Mahabharat 1 Parv 209.4 to 5. Hare Krishna.
Bharadwaj. He is one of the 7 great rishis and was present at the time of the birth ceremony of Arjun. The powerful rishi sometimes undertook severe penances on the shore of the Ganga, and his ashram is still celebrated at Prayag Dham. It is learned that this rishi, while taking bath in Ganga, happened to meet Gritaki, one of the beautiful society girls of heaven, and thus he discharged semen, which was kept and preserved in an earthen pot, and from which Drona was born. So Dronacharya is the son of Bharadwaj Muni. Others say that Bharadwaj, the father of Drona, is a different person from Maharshi Bharadwaj. He was a great devotee of Brahma. Once he approached Dronacharya and requested him to stop the battle of Kurukshetra. Parshuram or Renuka Sutta. He is the son of Maharshi Jamadagni and Srimati Renuka. Thus, he is also known as Renuka Sutta. He is one of the powerful incarnations of God, and he killed the Kshatriya community as a whole 21 times. With the blood of the Kshatriyas, he pleased the souls of his forefathers. Later on, he underwent severe penances at the Mahendra Parvat. After taking the whole earth from Kshatriyas, he gave it in charity to Kashyap Muni. Parshuram instructed the Dhanur Veda, or the science of fighting, to Dronacharya because he happened to be a Brahman. He was present during the coronation of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and he celebrated the function along with other great rishis. Parshuram is so old that he met both Ram and Krishna at different times. He fought with Ram, but he accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. He also praised Arjun when he saw him with Krishna. When Bhishma refused to marry Amba, who wanted him to become her husband, Amba met Parshuram, and by her request only, he asked Bhishma Dev to accept her as his wife. Bhishma refused to obey his order, although he was one of the spiritual masters of Bhishma Dev. Parshuram fought with Bhishma Dev when Bhishma neglected his warning. Both of them fought very severely, and at last Parshuram was pleased with Bhishma and gave him the benediction of becoming the greatest fighter in the world. Vasishtha, the great celebrated sage among the Brahmanas, well known as the Brahmarshi Vasishtha Dev, he is a prominent figure in both the Ramayana and Mahabharata periods. He celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of Godhead Sri Ram. He was present also on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He could approach all the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the history of Hiranyakashipu. There was a great tension between him and Vishwamitra, who wanted his Kamadhenu wish-fulfilling cow. Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamadhenu, and for this Vishwamitra killed his 100 sons. As a perfect Brahman, he tolerated all the taunts of Vishwamitra. Once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishwamitra's torture, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. He jumped from a hill but the stones on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and thus he was saved. He jumped into the ocean, but the waves washed him ashore. He jumped into the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus, all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. He is also one of the 7 rishis and husband of Arundhati, the famous star. Indra Pramad, another celebrated rishi. Trita, one of the 3 sons of Prajapati Gautam. He was the third son, and his other 2 brothers were known as Ekat and Dvita. All the brothers were great sages and strict followers of the principles of religion. By dint of severe penances, they were promoted to Brahmalok, the planet where Brahmaji lives. Once Trita Muni fell into a well. He was an organizing worker of many sacrifices. And as one of the great sages, he also came to show respect to Bhishmaji at his deathbed. He was one of the 7 sages in Varunalok. He hailed from the western countries of the world. As such, most probably, he belonged to the European countries. At that time, the whole world was under one Vedic culture. Grits Amada, one of the sages of the heavenly kingdom. He was a close friend of Indra, the king of heaven, and was as great as Brihaspati. He used to visit the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthira, and he also visited the place where Bhishmadev breathed his last. Sometimes he explained the glories of Lord Shiva before Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was the son of Vitahaya, with Havya, and he resembled in features the body of Indra. Sometimes the enemies of Indra mistook him to be Indra and arrested him. He was a great scholar of the Rigved, and thus he was highly respected by the Brahman community. He lived a life of celibacy and was powerful in every respect. Asit. There was a king of the same name, but here in the Asit mentioned is the Asit Devala Rishi, a great powerful sage of the time. He explained to his father 1.5 million verses from the Mahabharata. He was one of the members in the snake sacrifice of Maharaj Janmejaya. He was also present during the coronation ceremony of Maharaj Yudhishthir along with other great rishis. He also gave Maharaj Yudhishthir instructions while he was on the Anjana hill. He was also one of the devotees of Lord Shiva. Kakshivan, one of the sons of Gautama Muni and the father of the great sage Ch- Chandakaushika. He he was he was one of the members of parliament of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Atri Muni was a great Brahman sage and was one of the mental sons of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is so powerful that simply by thinking of a son, he can have it. These sons are known as Manas Putras. Out of 7 Manas Putras of Brahmaji and out of the 7 great Brahman sages, Atri was one. In his family, the great Prachetas were also born. Atri Muni had 2 Kshatriya sons who became king. King Artham is one of them. He is counted as one of the 21 Prajapatis. His wife's name was Anusuya, and he helped Maharaj Parikshit in his great sacrifices. Kaushik, one of the permanent rishi members in the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He sometimes met Lord Krishna. There are several other sages of the same name. Sudarshana, this wheel, which is accepted by the personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna, as his personal weapon, is the most powerful weapon, greater than the Brahmastras or similar other disastrous weapons. In some of the Vedic literatures, it is said that Agni Dev, the fire god, presented this weapon to Lord Sri Krishna, but factually, this weapon is eternally carried by the Lord. Agni Dev presented this weapon to Krishna in the same way that Rukmani was given by Maharaj Rukma to the Lord. The Lord accepts such presentations from his devotees, even though such presentations are eternally his property. There is an elaborate description of this weapon in the Adi Parv of the Mahabharata. Lord Shri Krishna used this weapon to kill Shishupal, a rival of the Lord. He also killed Shalva by this weapon. And sometimes he wanted his friend Arjun to use it to kill his enemies. Mahabharat, Virat Parv 56.3. Hare Krishna.
जय सारे ऋषिगण की जय हो. सो ये देख सकते हैं कि ये इसीलिए कि ये क्योंकि ये ऋषि हैं, इनके बारे में क्या ब्रीफ तो इस तरह प्रभुपाद बहुत सारे भागवतम के अंदर अलग अलग ऋषियों के बारे में, अलग अलग पर्सनैलिटीज के बारे में कई कई जगह बहुत डिटेल में इस तरह से लिखते हैं, सो दैट वी अंडरस्टैंड हु इज हु, लाइक दिस. और कई बार हमें लग सकता है कि ये बोरिंग इंफॉर्मेशन है, ये कौन है, पर हम देख सकते हैं कि जिनका नाम भागवतम के अंदर आ रहा है, हाँ, जो हु अंडरस्टैंड हु आर कृष्ण, हु इज कृष्णा, व्हाट इज द पोजीशन ऑफ भीष्म, हाँ, तो ये ऋषिगण कोई मामूली हस्ती नहीं है. दे आर वेरी फॉर्चुनेट एंड एलिवेटेड पर्सनैलिटीज. सो इनके बारे में थोड़ा सा पता होना, बैकग्राउंड होना इज गुड टू हैव इंफॉर्मेशन, बट मोर देन दैट कि अगर हम इन ऋषियों के बारे में लेते हैं, इनका नाम भी लेते हैं, सो वी मेक स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस. चैतन्य चरितामृत में लिखा हुआ है इस तरह से, भगवान के भक्तों के नाम लिखे हैं, नित्यानंद प्रभु के और चैतन्य महाप्रभु के, और लिखा है ग्रेट बेनेडिक्शंस हु रिसाइट दोज नेम्स एवरी डे. तो एक बार देयर वाज सम डिवोटी, आई थिंक पार्थसारथी महाराज डिसाइपल, और आई डोंट नो हु, I don't remember, and then they said कि Maharaj takes these names every day. His Guru Maharaj takes the names every day, also takes names of his god brothers. So after that, I started reciting the names and pray for our Guru Varg, men, at least those whom we are aware of, and also then to journal, because to take these devotees' name is also purifying. So our Guru Varg, so not just our Guru Maharaj, but all of them. Like this. So it is purifying to understand they are special soul, who have come to participate in Prabhupada's and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, pastime. They are not ordinary souls. Like this. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, what is this? Message Shivani Mata saying, Prabhuji, Sudarshan is also counted and described in rishis. Yes, because everybody in spiritual world is a personality. So he also came like that. He's not counted among rishis. He's eternal servant of Krishna, but the personality is being discussed. Okay. Yes, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, when we see the names of the rishis here, we see that Vyasdev is called as Bhagwan. So, हम उनको भगवान क्यों इस श्लोक में बोला जा रहा है?
हाँ, ये बीच में भी माता जी आप भागवत में पढ़ेंगे कि नारद इज ऑल्सो once or twice called भगवान. सो एक तो ये दिखाते हैं कि जिस तरह आप इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ेंगे तो प्रभुपाद उसमें लिखते हैं भगवान इनकारनेशन ऑफ गॉडहेड. So he's called Bhagavan because he is a Shaktavesh avatar. He is representing Bhagavan like this. और दूसरा, sometime pure devotees are also called Bhagavan because we know कि there is in one way there is no difference between Lord and his pure devotees. There is no difference. आप पढ़ेंगे जब कुरुक्षेत्र का भी युद्ध भागवतम में आएगा कि जिन्होंने, वो प्रभुपाद लिखते हैं कि जिन्होंने, भागवतम बताते हैं कि जिन्होंने, जो ऐसा नहीं जो कृष्ण के हाथ से मरे वही मुक्ति पाए. सो वो बताते हैं कि जिन्होंने अर्जुन के हाथ से जिन्होंने मरा वो भी मुक्ति पा गए, क्योंकि वट एवर जॉब कृष्ण वांट्स टू डू, प्योर डिवोटी इज डूइंग द सेम जॉब, सो द रिजल्ट इज सेम. सो वेदर इट इज बीइंग डन बाय द प्योर डिवोटी और बाय द लॉर्ड, द रिजल्ट इज सेम. सो यहाँ पर इसलिए क्योंकि आपने पढ़ लिया क्योंकि वो शक्तावेश अवतार है भगवान के, पर आप पाएंगे कई बार भागवत में नारद जी भगवान, बिकॉज देयर इज नो डिफरेंस. दे आर वन इन दैट सेंस कि देयर गोल इज वन. And जिसे बोलते हैं कि लॉर्ड विष्णु और लॉर्ड शिवा, नो डिफरेंस, बट वी नो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस, बट इन वन मैनर देयर इज एक्चुअली नो डिफरेंस, like that. So in that manner many times they are glorified as Bhagavan because their power and their spiritual power is as good as Bhagavan. They can give what Krishna can give, they can also give. They have so much potency in them, like this.
Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Ronnie Prabhu, your hand is raised?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I had a question, Prabhu. Prabhu, we read about Ati Rishi and Mother Anusaya, and their mention also comes in Ramayana, like their pastimes are also there in Ramayana. So these rishis and these mothers, they are also in like Satyug, Treta, and like different yugas. They are there, or they're the same.
I would say so, Prabhuji. जैसे परशुराम है, he goes from one yuga to another yuga. इसी तरह से क्या नाम है इनका, अश्वत्थामा, he doesn't die like this. I don't know about Anusuya, and I've heard the name in Ramayana, but I'll have to check, Prabhuji. I don't know. Maybe same, because many of them they transcend the yugas. Many of them they transcend yugas. They're there, so they don't. From Dwapar to many personalities are there like this.
Like there are those who transcend, like they're called Chiranjeevis, isn't it?
Well, Chiranjeevi means who lives very long, so Chiranjeevi also, but not that you will call them Chiranjeevi. Like what is unka name? Who saw Krishna on the banyan tree leaf, whose Lord Shiva's devotee? क्या नाम है उनका? जो कृष्णा की पिक्चर है, अपना टो सक करते हुए, और सो दैट इज मार्कंडेय ऋषि. सो वो प्रलय भी हो गई, वो तब भी नहीं हो, ऐसा भोलेनाथ ने आशीर्वाद दिया है, वो मार्कंडेय ऋषि ने, है ना. तो अंत में महाप्रलय के बाद वो देखते हैं कि सब कुछ तहस नहस हो गया. देन ही सॉ ऑन ए banyan tree leaf, a little baby Krishna sucking his toe, so understand Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Then he get that thing, so there are many personalities like this who can, so Mahapralaya आप सोच सकते हैं, it is, Brahma ji is 100 years के बाद, so he has lived through all that he has lived through, like that, so many personalities like that, but they are exceptional personalities like this. It's not applicable to general people, like this.
And Bhishma Dev ji was he was one of the Vasus, wasn't he? Will it come like in further?
I don't think so.
No.
Because it is not Bhishma, because Bhishma is a Mahajan. So in one of the lectures I was hearing, I don't know who it was. So then they say that he entered that Vasu, and that, and then that Vasu took the birth, So he entered, they enter the pastimes like that. It is not he was a Vasu karke Vasu. He is a Mahajan. So one of the lectures I heard, recently, only last 1 or 2 months, they were saying that he entered that Vasu, and then that pastime happened, and then he took birth like this. Like that. Like Ganga, you see, there's a pastime, how Ganga is come, then Ganga comes, then, like that.
Got it.
So they all find a way or a pastime to enter this Mrityulok, like that.
Okay.
At least that is my understanding. ठीक है. So अभी ये श्लोक हमने जो आज का हमने किया, it is 7th. So then we will find from, I think, 12th. 12th जो है वो हम सुनेंगे कि big boss, that Bhishma Dev, he will start speaking, and we will find that potency, that depth in his teachings, and how he will reveal who is Krishna, and how he will reveal what is happening to Pandavas. We'll find this wonderful chapter. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. We'll end the session now. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubhayeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण जी महाराज। हरे कृष्ण।